Hi everyone, it's Monica, and welcome back to TaylorMade Cards for You. Well, today we're going to do something a little different. We're not going to actually create a card, but I'm going to introduce to you the new stamp platform from the Tim Holtz line. I was fortunate enough to be able to get my hands on it a little bit early, and I'm going to share with you today some of the features of this new tool and demonstrate a couple of ways to use this tool to get perfect stamping every single time. Now, many of you may already be familiar with precision stamping. There are several platforms already out there in the market today, but I'm not here today to compare these products. But instead, I just want to share with you some of the features of this platform, and I'll let you make your own decisions. Now, the platform did come packaged really nicely. And one thing I think that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually keep some of the packaging because I like the way that it protects the platform. The box perfectly housed the platform, and it came with a nice foam cover. And I like this because I can easily store it on my shelf and not worry about anything falling on top of it. As you can see, it is a plastic cover, and I would guess anything heavy that falls on it may actually crack it. Also, if you notice when you're pulling it out of the packaging, the arm does come off, as I'm going to be showing you here right now. So you want to be careful that you don't drop it, or you're just anticipating the fact that the arm may come off when you're unpackaging it. Now, it does come with 2 magnets, so you're going to want to make sure that you see those inside there and you don't lose those. Many people with some of the other platforms have actually lost some of their magnets because they stick to some of their other tools like their scissors. So just be aware that you do have 2 magnets in there. All right, so let's get down to some of the details. The platform was designed to have a removable top, and this is so you can stamp not only rubber, but clear stamps as well. To remove the top, you simply lift up the top so it's at a 90-degree angle, and it will come right off. The edge of the top has a metal bar that snaps nicely into the base. And it fits in very easily, and you have to simply push it down just a bit and you'll hear a little snap. Now, on the top left-hand corner, you'll see the word either clear or rubber. And that will tell you what the platform is currently set at for your stamps. Of course, when it says clear, it's set for your clear stamps, and when it says rubber, it's for the thicker stamps. The removable lid actually replaces the foam that's in some of the other platforms. In the other platforms, you can remove the foam when you want to stamp the rubber stamps, and you put the foam back in where you're working with the clear. But for this platform, all you need to do is turn the lid depending on which stamp you're going to be stamping with. Now, the platform itself measures about 9.5 by 9.5, but the magnetic base measures about 8.5 by 8.5. And as I said, it comes with the 2 metal magnets. It has the anti-slip base, so that way when you're stamping, the platform remains sturdy. So before any of these stamping platforms came into the crafting world, all of us used these acrylic blocks. And we would stick our rubber or our clear stamps directly on these acrylic blocks. Now, when you're working with these acrylic blocks, you essentially get one chance to get a perfect stamped image. The one thing that I always found difficult to do was getting perfect stamped images on the silhouette stamps. And these are the stamps that have portions of the stamp that's all one color. So as I'm demonstrating here, you would take your acrylic block and you would push down and you would hope for the best. Sometimes you would get a pretty good stamp, but as I'm showing you here, do you see where the black on the car, it's kind of splotchy. So the only other alternative you would have would be to maybe color it in with a marker or try to re-stamp it in exactly the same spot. Okay, so enough talk about the stamp platform. Let's go ahead and take a look at how it works. So as you can see, I'm going to be working with a rubber stamp versus a clear stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my lid around so that way it has the word rubber right on the left-hand top of the plastic. And then I'm going to put my paper in and add my magnets so they don't move around. Now, one thing that you might notice about the stamp platform is it has open edges. So if you look at the left, the right, and the bottom part of the stamp platform, it doesn't have any raised edges to stop your paper or limit the size of your paper that you're going to be using. So you could easily stamp a 12 by 12 piece of paper here, because you're not going to have those edges constricting it. So now that I have my piece of paper exactly where I want it, and I positioned my rubber stamp over the paper, I'm pushing down so that the back of the stamp sticks to the acrylic top. And then I simply open up the top and ink up my stamp. Now, as you'll notice, my first impression was not a clear impression. So I'm simply going to ink it up again and restamp it. And because of the way that the paper is positioned and the stamp is attached to the top of the platform, I'm going to get a perfect, precise stamped image every single time. So if my first image doesn't come out as dark as I need it to be, I can simply stamp it over and over again. Now, one thing that I do like about this platform is I can look to see where the image is not stamping very well. So for instance, if I notice that I'm only having trouble in the very middle where the car is, then I can focus my ink and my pressure right where that portion is not stamping very well. So I don't have to continually try to stamp the entire image. I can focus on areas of the stamp that just are not stamping very well. Now, I also stamped a clear stamp using my acrylic block because I also wanted to demonstrate with you how a clear stamp would work on the stamp platform. So as I said before, you just simply have to lift up the top and turn it around so that way on the top left-hand side it says clear. And then you're ready to add your paper and your clear stamp. So just as I did with the rubber stamp, I'm adding my paper, and then I'll position my clear stamp right in the center of my paper or wherever I need to stamp. And then I simply close the door, put a little bit of pressure on so that way the clear stamp will stick to the top of the platform. And then you're ready to add your ink. Now, one thing that I've noticed about clear stamps is when you're stamping with it, sometimes it sticks to your paper. And when you're lifting it up off of the platform or even off of your acrylic block, the paper will stick to your clear stamp. But this isn't going to be a problem with the platform because you're going to be able to easily reposition it exactly where you started by pushing it down into the corner, re-ink it up, and you're going to be able to stamp in exactly the same spot. So even if your paper does move a little bit, you're not going to have a problem because, again, you can position it exactly where you stamped originally and just re-stamp it again. And the nice thing about this is you can stamp it as many times as you need to. So whether it's just a couple of times or it's even 2 or 3 times, you can go from an image that isn't very clear and crisp to a very crisp image. And that is precision stamping. So hopefully I've given you a clear overview of what the stamp platform is and what it does. Over the next couple of weeks, I am going to be doing some more videos to show you exactly what other techniques you can do with your precision stamping tool. I plan on stamping on different types of paper and texture just to see how precise I can get with this platform. So I hope that you will subscribe to my channel and check in over the next few days because, again, I plan on doing a series on the new stamp platform. Thanks so much, everyone, for stopping by, and we'll see you again next time.